What's up, you goofy goobers? I've been getting some requests from a couple of you asking how I make these videos, and we're gonna go through kind of a step-by-step and make this super simple, give you some ideas on ways to make video content. As you guys know, I am not a big fan of video content. I just have a really hard time staying consistent with it, and I'm more about writing post. So I am trying to diversify my content and be on some different platforms though, so I figured I would share what I'm doing and it can help whoever it's gonna help. So if you haven't seen these videos, I'm just gonna give you kind of like a 10-second clip of what it is that people are asking about.
I was seeing something in the interview about telling anybody who has an Etsy. I don't know if anybody in our community runs an Etsy, but you want to make sure that you have instant checkout set up for your products because, especially with agent mode.
All right, so that's the video that we're talking about, and I actually need to make and batch some of these for this upcoming week. So all that I'm doing really is I'm taking a cartoon graphic that I made from an AI twin picture that I've made. So if you're all the way in the beginning of not having any sort of AI character or, AI twin pictures or anything, you're going to want to go back into our All Things AI module and watch the training for that and train a twin of yourself or some sort of trained model on an AI character, whether it's you or not. And then you're going to essentially want to get so let's say you have an image here that's you or some character. If you want to do the cartoon style, I also have a video on how I do the cartoon images, which is also in the AI classes, in the All Things AI module, or if you're in the free community, it's in the free AI class section. And so once I have, let's say, an image of my cartoon version of me, all I'm going to do is go into my preferred AI video generator. So that could be VO3, that could be OpenArts, maybe you use Crea, whatever you use for AI videos. I'm going to use something that does image to video. And you can batch do this, so you can take multiple images and do this. So I'm going to use VO3. And so down here at the bottom, you'll see text to video. I'm going to do frames to video. And I usually just stick with what it has on default. So I have one video output. I leave it on portraits, and then I leave it on VO 3.1 fast. You do whatever works for you for these. And then down on the bottom left, there's a plus sign. We're going to tap on that, and we're going to upload whatever image that we're wanting a video for. Now, OpenArt, when I make videos in OpenArt, I can just send this off to create a video and not have to put a prompt in, which I like. So for this, when you're doing VO, you do have to put text in. I'll usually just put something simple like slow camera pan, and then we'll go ahead and send that off. So if I'm making multiple of these, so it's a lot easier for me to batch do these things, doing more than one at a time than to sit and do it every time I need a video. So as we let that load, I might go and take some other images that I made cartoon versions of myself for and just repeat this process so that I have multiple different videos that I can choose from for my videos. So slow camera pan. So we're going to send that off, and then we're just going to repeat this for however many images and what have you that we want to do this with. Okay, so now we're just going to wait for those to load, and then we're just going to review those once they're finished and see which ones we like and download the ones that we want to use, and then we'll store those in a folder for future videos so that we can reuse and repurpose them later. And if you're using VO3 or VO 3.1, it's going to have audio generated with it. It doesn't really matter. We're going to edit that out. So don't not download something just because of audio, because we can always mute the clip.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to try something a little different.
I'm not sure why it made it ASMR with no prompt for that, but anyway, we'll go ahead and save it. I don't know if we're going to use it or not, but so now we have some videos in here that we can use for what I want to do. Dreamface used to be an app that I went to for lip syncing audio, especially using my own audio, or where I can record something for a quick story or a quick piece of content. Dreamface has been pretty glitchy the last couple of months, so I've been trying to find like alternative ways to do video content, but I'll kind of show you anyways how to do it if you want to give it a try. When I get those clips of me talking, there's a couple of ways that you can go about getting your actual audio for your content. Now, I'm not really a big fan of AI audio really at all yet, unless it's music. But all that I'm doing for those clips that I've been sharing on Facebook and video platforms is when we do our weekly lives, I always have those recorded, and then I'll download the recorded file and I upload the 1.5 to 2 hour video into something called Opus Pro. So Opus Pro is really, really awesome for anybody who streams. If you maybe do live streams and download that to save it, Opus Pro is mainly to take long form content, and it has AI work to give you anywhere from 20 to 50 different short form video clips from that long form video that you input in there. So you have to do like 0 editing. Now there are some things that you may have to edit out, but from somebody who's spent a lot of time editing videos, especially hours and hours of videos, if you're looking to just get like good short clips to promote something out of a longer clip, or maybe it's a class or, you know, something like that, it's a lot easier to use this tool, and it just saves a lot of time. Once you're signed into Opus Clip, I think I pay $10 to $15 a month for this. And this is really ideal for, let's say, for example, if you have a YouTube channel, and you have a long YouTube, video, but you want to make shorter clips to promote it on like TikTok or Facebook Reels, Instagram stories. A lot of people that do podcasting will use something like this so that they have a long, 1 to 2 hour podcast, but they want to break it into shorter clips. So when you're on TikTok and you see people using those 30 to 60 second podcast clips, they're more than likely using something like this to get that batch of content and promote their podcast and direct you over to the long form video. For me, I'm not really trying to sit down and plan out like video content where I'm writing scripts or talking to the camera, because 1, I just don't have a lot of time for that. 2, I've already proven to myself I'm very inconsistent with video content. And this is kind of like my easy, lazy way to do it, especially if you're batching. You can sit and batch and do this for an hour, 2 hours, and then have content anywhere from a week to 3 weeks to a month done and just posted. So when you do have an account with Opus Clip, you just basically either you can upload the video directly, or you can paste a link to like a public YouTube video of yours, or whatever formats they accept. Once you do that, it'll put your project for that long video into its own spot. And so down here, if I click on this first project, this is the last live that we did in my paid community. And once it's finished with the project, you're going to scroll down once you click into that project, and it's going to have all these different video clips for you to go through and review. So this one I think had like 45 different clips, and it categorizes it by its own ranking system of what could and couldn't go viral. I don't know how accurate that is. I've never really had a standpoint of trying to go viral or been really focused on that. I'm more just using it for clips that I like, that I think are educational or informative or motivating, and use them. And so once you're on, let's say clip 1 here, you can play it, review it. But the point is here in making these videos with the cartoon images is that it has not the most ideal or aesthetic background of, me doing a screen recording or my blank icon image of a Zoom call. We don't really want that to be what people are looking at when they're listening to the content, and it's probably not going to get clicked on a lot. So basically from here, I'm going to download all these short clips that I like, or if you want to manually edit a longer video or film your own video content, you can do that. Like if you, for example, just don't want to use Opus Clip or have another AI subscription expense, I do think this is very, very affordable. But if you just do not have the funds right now to do that, you could do something like sit down with ChatGPT and, not be recording yourself. You just record whatever you want, or you could even just do like an audio recording of having ChatGPT ask you interview podcast style questions about a certain topic or about you and your business, or your audience's pain points and things like that. And then once you have that long form video, you can go and edit it into shorter clips and do it manually, or you could have Opus do it for you. And so that's how I get the actual short videos of me saying whatever I'm saying in the video. And then we now also have our cartoon character videos that we can put into the visual side as well. So from here, what I do is I use an app called InShot, which is my video editing app. It can also edit pictures, but I don't really use it a lot for that. And if I'm sitting down to batch, last week's live session or whatever, I'm going to click on video. I'm going to find the most recent video that I have not gotten done. So we'll do this 35-second one here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the actual sound in here. So if there's anything that needs clipped out, maybe somebody made a comment in the middle of the video or something that I don't want in there, I'm just going to split and cut out any parts of the video that I don't want in there. And then I'll go ahead and add the visuals.
The thing that I really love about AI is,
so like there in the beginning, like I had this little stutter of whatever the heck I was talking about. And if I wanted to clip that out, I would just use the split feature and then delete the portion of the clip that I don't want in there. And so I have it stopped where I want the video to begin, and that's when I would hit split. And then I'm going to tap on that first part of the video and click delete.
The thing that I really love about AI is a lot of us, I think, can sometimes be in a box with our thinking, and AI can really expand our creativity even when we feel like we really don't have a lot of it. So to Sylvia's point, if I'm sitting here building a character, AI is not the boss of me, right? So it can ask me this or that questions, but I can get as specific as I want. I can tell it, hey, I don't like this. Can we do this instead with a little twist of this? And really just challenge it and get as specific as you want and challenge anything it gives you that you don't like.
Okay, so I just really had to do the beginning part there. And then what we're going to do, now if you use something like CapCut or maybe like an editor on your phone, I think the tool you would look for is overlay, where you're going to put an image or a video over top of your original video. But for InShot, we're going to use the little box icon up here that says PIP. We're going to tap on that and then basically select our video, one of the videos that we made earlier that we want to use. So let's say we want to use this one. It's going to put the video over top of the first video we put in there because we just need the audio. We're going to resize this to take over the whole screen. And then I'm going to see if there are any edits I need to make with the video itself. So I'm going to play this.
The thing that I really love about AI.
So first thing we need to do is tap on the video, click on volume, and mute it.
The thing that I really love about AI is,
and this is kind of more so just preference. So like, I don't really like the beginning part. I'm going to cut that out, drag this back over to the beginning.
The thing that I really love about AI is a lot of us, I think, can sometimes be in a box with our thinking.
Okay. And then from here, once I have like a section of the video that I like, obviously it's not going to match our 34 seconds and we need to make this longer. So a couple things we can do here. You can either just find the duplicate option. And so it's just going to play the same 5 seconds.
The thing that I really love about AI is,
so it's just going to play the same like 5 seconds over and over again. Or one thing that I like to do, but it can take a little bit more work to have it sync up properly, is let's say we have the original. So we would do the same thing. We would duplicate it, but we're going to reverse the second clip that we duplicated. And so it's going to kind of play it back in a smoother sense. And I'll kind of show you here what I mean. So, I mean, it's a little glitchy there in the middle. I'm not necessarily a pro with AI filmmaking yet. I have my tips and tricks I've learned that I can teach you guys, but you can kind of play around with cutting out certain parts towards the end, so it's not like, you know, her head kind of turning glitchy like that, but it is definitely smoother than the same clip just looping on and on and on again. And so we would just repeat this process basically until we get to the length of the video of 34 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this, but I'm going to move it down here. And then we're going to duplicate it, but reverse it. So always reverse every other clip, basically. All right, so we're going to duplicate this again. And actually, I'm going to show you an easier way to do this as well. And then we'll just obviously let that kind of run off at the end. And then that's, you basically have your clips. So it's got the audio of me speaking in the background. I just turn the volume down, and then you've got your clip that is kind of looping and reversing more smoothly. And then you can also go and add your captions. I always recommend having captions for SEO purposes, and just for the fact that a lot of people that watch video content are not watching it with audio, so they can read what's being said as, you know, they're watching, if they decide not to turn the volume on for content. So I can do the captions on screen right here in the app. So I'm going to click on text and then captions, and they have different templates that you can use. I typically like to do the vlog style here, and it's going to kind of go through and transcribe and add the captions. And that's basically my video. And I'm just going to go through and do this same process for all the other clips I got from Opus with whatever videos I've made that I want to do this with. So an easier way to do this, as far as like the duplicate and reverse process, is if you want to make longer versions. So I'm going to go ahead and export this. So I'm going to, in the top right, click export, leave the settings as they are, and then click export again, and it's going to save this video. I do delete the Opus clips as I get them done, like and matched with a video, so that I don't get confused on what I have and haven't done, depending on how many videos I've done. So once this is done converting, I will go find that 34-second clip from Opus and delete it, so I know that I don't have to do that video. And that's just kind of my own process. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, and then the other thing I do is when I get the video done, I'm going to go ahead and put this in a folder of unused content, so that I know I am posting something new, and just keeping my stuff organized. So another way that will be easier for you guys to not have to do the duplicate and reverse process is if you go into InShot before you do anything with your Opus clips or your shorter clips that you made from a longer video. Go ahead and go into video, and we're gonna batch loop these 8-second clips, like these shorter cartoon videos that we made. So I would go into these one by one that have no sound or anything with them and edit them to my liking, so they loop, where I can just put it in the video and just keep pressing duplicate instead of having to reverse it. I already have it done and in a folder for usable videos, if that makes any sense at all. So like for this one, this is just a video that we made from Veo to pair with the Opus clips. And I'm going to make sure I mute the sound. This is the weird one that had the ASMR. So I don't know what I'm going to necessarily use out of this. So I might do one where like the mic is over her face, so it's not super like confusing. And editing and stuff will get easier the more that you do it. It's just one of those things you have to start kind of playing around with. All right, so I'm going to do basically what I showed you earlier, but we're going to have this all batched and done. So you can just upload the cartoon clips that are already duplicated in reverse, and you can just stick it in the video and just duplicate it as many times as you need to. So, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this, and then I'm going to reverse the second one and play this back to see if it's smooth. Okay, I'm happy with that. So then I'm just going to save that. And then I would repeat this same process for all of the videos that I haven't done it for yet. We basically have the bulk of what we can use from the videos I made. So from here, I'm going to put the ones in a folder that I can reuse and repurpose for any future Opus clips that I make. So I have like a folder of the ones that are done that I can use this for. I did save some of the ones where she is like talking, because in the way I'm going to show you how to use Dreamface, these are actually good clips that you can use where it looks like they're talking and it lip syncs the audio you input in there. Like I said, it's pretty hit or miss with Dreamface, but we're going to give it a shot, and that's why I saved those talking clips. But any of the ones where we edited out the stuff we don't like, so like this one here, we used just a really short, you know, part of it of the mic being over her face, but this original video we can go ahead and delete. This one we're going to keep for trying it out with Dreamface. This one is the original. We're going to delete that. This is another original we can delete. This is one I do want to keep for Dreamface. This I'm also keeping for Dreamface. Okay, so, and then this is already in its own folder because this is done with captions and everything. And these 4 videos I can go ahead and put in a folder. So let me show you guys what I mean real quick. If we go back into InShot and do, let's say, another Opus clip, we're going to find our next Opus clip down here. We already deleted the one that we finished. And obviously we're going to go through and kind of listen to what's in here. But I just want to show you why I bulked and batched out those duplicate and reversing processes for the video. So if I go and use one of the ones I've already edited, so we're going to do again the PIP, we're going to select one of the videos that we've already edited. We're going to make that bigger. And the audio should already be out, but now this is one video where it plays but also reverses. And now we can just tap on it and we can just keep duplicating that video until it's the length of our desired clip that we're using. And now we don't have to mess with reversing it, like reversing every other clip and making sure it's in the correct order and all of that. We already just have it done. And so now it's just done, and it's going to continuously play on that loop for however long we need it to. And that's basically how I do it. That's my way of how I do it. Now I want to show you guys a way that you can do this with Dreamface, which is another app. It's the only app that I paid yearly for because it was very stupid cheap. It was like $30 for the year. It worked really, really well for most of the summer. And then, like I said, it started kind of being glitchy with its lip syncing. But it's worth kind of checking out every now and then to see if you can get certain videos that works well with it. It works pretty well. It's also something that's really nice to use if you're making like a video with a song that you made with AI. It's really good for that as well. So I'm going to finish batching these out later. I just wanted to show you my process. But if we head over here to Dreamface, that's the icon for the app. What we're going to do is click on Avatar Talk/Sing. And ideally, we're going to have the same types of stuff ready. So we're going to have our AI twin images, cartoon versions if you want them. And you're already going to have a couple videos of your character. You do want to have videos before you go into Dreamface where they're not saying anything necessarily. There's just some sort of movement. And so we're going to click the plus sign. And I'm going to add one of the videos that we've already edited. So let's say we take this first one here. That's 4 seconds long. That's the video of the character that I want speaking. Now, what I love about Dreamface is you can import the audio that you want to use, even if it's in an MP4 format. So those Opus clips that are video format, I can go ahead and upload that as the audio, and then this avatar is going to lip sync that audio. You can also just record whatever you want to record. So with my paid plan, which was again $30 for the year, I don't know if their pricing's changed. I can look that up if you guys need me to, but I can do up to 3 minutes of audio to lip sync at a time, which is like ideal, especially if you're making AI music with Sono. If you want to do like a TikTok, if you want to do like a reel or something scripted where you're reading, but you don't want to be on camera, this is like the perfect way to do faceless content. So what we're going to do once we select the video we want is go underneath to want avatar to say or sing. We're going to tap on that. And you can either do a text script, which is not my favorite because you're going to be using AI voiceovers and theirs are not great. You can search music or any content. I've not really messed with that. I usually do the bottom two. So you can click on import, which is where I would import the audio from my Opus clip. Or you can just straight record, you know, if you want to give like 60 seconds of AI news for the day or something, you can hit record whatever audio you want, and it's going to lip sync the video to your recording. So for the purpose of what we're doing, I'm going to click on import. I'm going to click on from album, and then I'm going to go down to the last clip here. And make sure it's not going over the 3 minutes. So that one was 1 minute and 44 seconds. I'm going to drag this arrow so that it has all of the audio selected. And I'm just going to click on confirm. And we're going to let it load. And that's basically it for Dreamface. It's a lot easier. Granted, there are certain types of videos that work well and don't work well with Dreamface. So if you do this for the first time or the first couple times and it sucks, try a different video, like try a different video of your character, or maybe one where they're not talking, maybe one where they are talking, and just see what works and doesn't work well with this app. Now, animate effect, which is under choose voice, we're going to make sure we have HD selected. That has helped quite a bit with the lip sync. And then we're going to click on animate and it's going to load. So like I said, pretty hit or miss with Dreamface, but this is the ideal way that I would want to make content because she actually is going to look like she's speaking what's being said rather than it just being like a B-roll type of video, but either option really works. And then once I batch those out, I mean, you can schedule them from there. You can just have a folder with unused content that you can pull from each morning, however many times you want to post, however often you want to post. I usually just do one a day. But I hope that these were helpful. I'm going to go ahead and wait to see how this comes out, just to kind of show you guys an example using Dreamface, and hopefully that gave you guys some ideas, and I will see y'all soon with another lesson. One of the biggest lessons I have learned in my personal journey, when I have went against the grain of what I thought I should do, it worked out better the other way. So very just small example.